Welcome back to the deep dive. So, you've brought us some really fascinating sources today, and they all seem to circle around this huge question. Can India actually become the next AI superpower?
Exactly. And our mission today really is to unpack that. We'll look at the strengths, yes, but also the big challenges India faces, drawing right from your material. You might find some surprising connections and facts along the way.
Okay, let's dive in. What jumps out immediately from these sources, for me at least, is the sheer scale, the talent pool first. Over 1 million engineers graduating each year. That's just
It
massive.
really is.
But it's not just the number, is it? The sources hint that this scale could, position India differently, maybe democratizing AI development, or perhaps becoming the place for essential AI work like data annotation, a unique kind of role.
That's a great point. And think about the data side too.
Oh, absolutely. Over 800 million internet users generating this constant, rich stream of data. That's the fuel AI needs, right?
Precisely. And that talent pool you mentioned, it's not just grads. It actually builds on India's deep roots as a global IT powerhouse.
You mean companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro?
Exactly. They're already established and they're seriously investing in AI now. But it's not just the giants. Your sources highlight this really vibrant startup scene too. Over 500 AI startups, apparently.
Wow, 500. And are they focused on specific areas?
Yeah, and this is interesting. They're often tackling very Indian challenges. Think AI diagnostics for rural healthcare or learning platforms for India's many languages,
Mhm.
even super local weather forecasts for farmers.
That makes sense. Using AI for specific local needs.
Right, and the government's trying to boost this too with things like the IndiaAI mission.
Okay, so that paints a picture of, well, enormous potential. Raw ingredients seem to be there. But big ambitions usually come with big hurdles. What do the sources say are the main obstacles?
A really critical one is R&D investment. It's currently less than 1% of GDP,
Mhm.
which, compared to global AI leaders is quite low,
Yeah.
significantly lower.
Less than 1%. Yeah, that's stark.
And beyond funding, there's a skill gap, not just general tech skills. India has plenty of those. The gap is in the advanced AI specializations, machine learning, deep learning, the stuff that really drives innovation.
So we need more people who can build the complex models, not just use them.
Exactly. Especially for things like real-time processing across all of India's languages. Without enough of those experts, India might end up just consuming AI, not creating the cutting edge.
And that feeds into the brain drain issue too, doesn't it? It's this paradox. You
Right.
train brilliant minds, and then
And then the global market snaps them up. Absolutely. Top AI researchers, especially those working on, say, generative AI or advanced robotics, they often get drawn to the US, UK, Canada, where the funding and facilities might be more advanced right now.
which slows down building that ecosystem at home.
It definitely can. And of course, the sources also stress the need for clear rules. Policy and regulation, especially around ethics and data privacy. That's foundational for getting people to trust and use AI.
So, okay, we have these serious challenges: funding, skills, brain drain, regulations. How do the sources suggest India can actually move forward? Is there a specific strategy?
Well, several key things come up. First, boosting funding, obviously, for both AI research and education. Then, really encouraging public-private partnerships to get AI solutions built and deployed at scale.
Makes sense. Collaboration is key.
And international collaboration, too, learning from and working with existing leaders. But crucially, the sources emphasize focusing strategically, like on those rural applications we mentioned, or sector-specific AI for agriculture or language translation, playing to India's unique context.
Right, leveraging its own specific needs and scale. Now, looking outwards, this is where it gets really interesting, I think. How does India fit into the global picture, with the US and China currently dominating AI?
Yeah, the big picture view from your sources is quite compelling. Suggests India has a real shot at becoming a kind of third major
A
force.
third force. How so? Not
Mm,
just by matching tech.
Not just tech, but by consciously positioning itself as maybe a democratic and ethical alternative in AI development.
Ah, so focusing on responsible, inclusive AI.
Exactly. That could be its unique selling point, potentially shifting global standards, building trust in a way that perhaps other models don't prioritize as much.
Yeah.
So the conclusion seems to be, look, the path is tough, no doubt, challenging, but it's definitely seen as achievable.
So India is really at this fascinating point, isn't it? Huge potential, significant hurdles, but actively pushing towards becoming a major AI player. Well, thank you for helping us unpack all of that from the sources today.
Absolutely. And maybe this leaves you with a question to ponder. How might India's focus on, ethical and inclusive AI actually shape the future of global AI standards and how it's used everywhere? Something to keep thinking about.